Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Conversations. I'm David Thomas, and across from me, Mr. Brent Smith. It's good to have you back on. Brent is former county commissioner, and you were in District 1.
District 1.
And you're running for District 5.
Yeah, just
So
got all
coming
my paperwork
up.
in
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week,
yeah.
so that's official. So I'll be running.
Former Republican chairman here locally.
Yeah.
So Republican Party chairman. Okay. And I know today we've been talking about this a little bit just in our private conversations that we're having, but something that I griped to you about the other day, I think, was I went to the grocery store and I love to eat a good steak. And I love, of course, to get some good fresh ground beef and grill out some hamburgers. And man, I was taken back immediately with the price. And I know you've been doing some reading and checking on this stuff about what's causing our prices to go up, and better topic to talk about than that is the availability we're going to have. Where are we going to get our beef going forward, Brent?
Yeah.
I know you got some concerns, and this is something that affects us locally here in Bedford County, and it also affects us statewide. It affects us nationally about food supply. And one big concern is this beef situation and farmers, where are they going? So what have you found out after doing some studying?
Well, some shocking information actually concerning farmers and concerning our overall beef, level that we have now in America. David, did you know that our American domestic beef herd is at its lowest level since 1950?
Right. I've heard that. And that's, where I heard it?
Where?
You told me. And it shocked me.
Yeah.
Since 1950, that's a long time, Brent.
It's a long time. Now, some cattle farmers may say that, we've got better stock now, heavier stock, et cetera, and I 100% agree with that. But when you look at overall head of cattle, we're at our lowest level. Since the official inventories began in 1867, roughly a 10 to 13 year price cycle has followed supply and demand. And so when prices increased, farmers expanded their herds, and when prices decreased, of course, they contracted them.
Right.
But what we're seeing now, David, is a really weird anomaly. Guess what the average age of a farmer is right now?
Pretty old, I'd say.
If you had to guess.
I would say probably, just taking a cross section, probably mid-50s.
Average age of a farmer growing your food is 60 years old.
Okay. That's a little higher than what I anticipated.
Now, back to your cattle question. The average age of a cattle farmer is 10 years older.
Wow.
So that begs the question, who's going to be raising our food 4 or 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Because you know how expensive land is.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to buy 100 acres in Bedford County right now, well, you better have about $1.5 million.
Let's talk about that just for a second.
Yeah.
How long is that going to stay up?
Who knows?
It's got to correct.
Well, okay.
You would think.
Let's just use my figures as they're correct at 1.5 million for 100 acres. Let's just say that's just average. Let's say they go down to 1 million. 1 million for 100 acres. I mean, sure, you could get some people to invest with you, but still, that's a lot of money. Now, we haven't talked about fencing and cross fencing. We haven't talked about a water source. We haven't talked about the actual equipment that you need for your cattle, whether it's tractors, whether it's balers, if you're going to bale your own hay and, grow your grass, etc. So you're looking at a tremendous cost. And there's so many families, David, that are just selling their property. We see it here in Bedford County.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that beautiful pasture across the street that we enjoyed looking at the cows, that's gone. Now it's high density housing.
Yeah. Or an attempt to make high density housing. Okay.
Exactly.
And that's a concern. We've all talked about that. So my question then, after seeing this age of 70 years old for the cattle farmer, I want to know where my steak's going to come from, Brent. Where my ground beef's going to come from.
Let's just
take it a little further. What about other animals? Chicken, pork, all these things. If it's not paying off to a farmer, if they can't make any money, why would they even stay in the business?
Well, and I think that's what we're going to be facing, and whether we want to or not. And again, we're not being doom and gloom here. These are actual statistics that I think afford taking a closer look at.
Yeah.
I love
steak.
We have to. I love steak.
Oh, man.
I'm
already hungry right now just talking about it.
And so really where it comes to play in Bedford County is how can the county help our farmers even more than they already are? And how can the or how can the county make it more attractive for younger people to want to get involved agriculturally speaking?
Well, it's got to be profitable for them.
Exactly.
So there's got to be some environment created to where it's more affordable. What can we do at a local level? I mean, it seems like that this trend of the high per acre charge that we have some pristine land around here. Is it going to hold up? What can we do? I mean, what can we do?
I mean, probably one of the things that comes to mind is our greenbelt tax situation. For those of you who may or may not know, if you're in a green belted area, it's 15 acres or more, and you have to be doing, standard farm agricultural practices on. Maybe there's opportunity there to raise that up a little bit to give even more tax relief.
Yeah. Well, every little bit's going to help, but also too, if I think our per acre would go down out in our rural areas, if there wasn't the threat or the opportunity, it's so easy just to throw up a bunch of houses on it and keep that rural setting of so many acres per home instead of, well, I can sell this and I can retire on it.
Right.
Well, that farmer needs to be thinking the next generation, my children now can make some money on this instead of this is a bailout now.
Exactly.
So I'm going to bail out because there's no hope in farming. That's where that corrects two sides of the issue all at once. You don't have the high density property going up and the farmers can make a living.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Man.
Optically, though, when you think about it, who is against the farmers? I mean, anybody you talk to loves a farmer.
Right.
And a lot of us now are buying local. I'm gonna give some shout outs.
Yeah.
Crossing Creek Farms up in the Deason Bell Buckle area.
Right.
A great place to go, folks, if you haven't tried it yet. I mean, they've got baked goods, but more importantly, they have a lot of healthy beef, pork, and chicken.
Yep.
And that's something that you can, buy here locally. Now, let's not forget about Potts.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
I mean, how many deer have we taken to Potts, right?
That was the go-to place.
But now they're focusing strictly on, cattle. I think they're slaughtering some pigs too and some other things.
But they're high quality.
But super high quality. There's another avenue that you can support local businesses and your local farmer.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to help.
Yeah.
So if we can help these smaller guys out, the small slaughterhouses that we do have, the small processing plants that we do have, I mean, they're USDA approved. I mean, these are legit places. Why would we go anywhere else?
Well, this is all part of the idea of being not reactive, but proactive in how we're spending our dollar locally. This is going to be an issue, whether you believe what David and I are saying, or maybe you think it may work out good. There may be some relief down the road, but this is an issue, and you're already seeing it.
It's already an issue
within the grocery stores.
Yeah.
A part of this inflation we're seeing in the grocery stores, I think, is because we don't have the farmers we had just 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Plus, you've got the elitist, these big corporations coming in buying up farms, and they have created an unlevel playing field for the small guy. They have the leverage.
Well, it's all about consolidation, concentration, and centralization.
Yeah.
The big meat packing plants,
Right.
I think there's just like 2 or maybe 3 in the whole nation now. That's why businesses like Potts are so important.
Right.
This is how we need to be thinking moving forward. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and the idea of this more community-based cooperative thought process around our food, I think, is going to be very important moving forward.
I think it needs to be not only our food, but everything that we do.
Yeah, agreed.
We've talked about this before.
Agreed.
It's good to be self-supportive locally.
Yeah.
To depend on outside sources there's coming a day to where we don't want to be dependent like that. And I know the next thing you're going to talk about, I know what it is.
Yeah. So, not only is our farmland so important and our green space and where we get our food from, but I think just as important is our water. And this is the resource moving forward. I think even more than land that's going to be fought over.
It sustains life, man.
It sustains life. And we have to decide now. There's a great quote. And this is the Epic Times, by the way, that I'm quoting out of. Yeah. There's a great quote in here from Molly Englehart. And she says, if we prioritize data over food, what will we eat? This next battle is coming, and it's over water.
Yeah. You look at, I did an article about the data processing centers, the places that it's the big push right now because we have to compete with AI.
Mhm.
We have to be ahead of China and we have to be ahead of this country.
Yep.
And it's a race, it's a war, blah, 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 blah. Okay. How much data do we need? How much information until we get to information overload, man?
Well, we have to decide, and I think this goes back to what we want to be as a community. I think during our last show we were talking about we've had the chance now to see what good and what bad looks like.
Yeah.
We're kind of late to the party, but our benefit to that is because we haven't blown up like a Murfreesboro or Franklin or Mount Juliet or et cetera. We know what good looks like. And I was thinking about this on my way over, David. Why don't we leverage what we already have here?
Exactly.
We've got a beautiful river system.
Yep.
We have a beautiful lake in Normandy. We have beautiful rolling hills. We have a great technical center that was just built. You know, we've got pretty good infrastructure. It needs improvement, but we've got some basic infrastructure. Why don't we focus on those things? The idea of bringing multiple data centers into Bedford County, or even just one, people have no idea what that would do to
Exactly.
water and the environment overall. Just the heat those things give off.
Oh, I know it. It's unreal. And it's going to suck water. It'll suck Duck River dry. We
Oh.
put 2 or 3 of them in this area that feed off the Duck River. You look at Coffee County, you look at Bedford County, you look at Marshall, you go on down, look at Maury County, and you go over and look at the Centerville area. This whole little tract feeds off Duck River.
Yep.
Let's just say that Columbia, Maury County, also,
Which is already in a water crisis.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they have a data center that's coming. Oh, it's going to provide jobs that it doesn't provide.
Mhm.
It's going to be a great big old massive computer sitting in a field sucking up water and eating up electricity.
And guess what? Maybe one person from
Okay.
Nashville is going to be working there.
And what is? Tell me. Yeah, no.
It won't
There'll
be
be a
anybody from
guard.
Bedford
There'll be
County.
a guard outside to keep
Yeah.
you from trying to break in. That's all they're going to have there. So my question is, what benefit, in the end, does it do for us to have all this information, but we don't have water to drink?
Yeah, what? Even if we had water to drink, it still benefits us zero to have
Exactly.
those centers here in Bedford County, anywhere close to us. Chances are they would dig a well, and then the 3 or 4 others around us would dig a well, and you start to see that river
water table
go
go
down.
down
Yeah,
quick.
because that's how they do it.
Yeah.
But you know, this water situation is a lot bigger than you think. So I just want to tell you a quick story. There was a fella over in Oregon, and he went to jail and paid a huge fine because the county had removed his water catchment system. So what this guy did is he built just some water catchment systems for fire prevention, to feed his animals and to feed his garden. So he
Yeah.
captured the
Yeah.
rain that was on his property. David, we're talking about 3 reservoirs that he built just to collect rain. The state intervened, fined this guy, and put him in jail.
That's unbelievable. Where was this?
This was in Oregon.
Figures.
Now
It
there's
figures.
there's other stories that are very similar to this in California, and believe it or not, Texas.
Texas.
Yep.
That doesn't
Texas.
sound right, man.
Yeah. So this is something that's going on around us, and I know that we live in what you could probably call a rainforest area. You know, this whole like Smoky Mountain, Middle Tennessee area, because when it rains, it pours. But we also have some very dry.
We've had some droughts.
Yeah.
Last year we were in a drought for a big portion of the year, and the year before that, I think we're still on the under normal table right now.
Yeah.
And this spring it could quickly rejuvenate. But how much of that do you want to put at risk by doing all this stuff that that we see happening before us?
Well, especially just with the growth in population that we've seen downstream. I mean, we've got a downstream problem that will affect us and is affecting us now.
Yeah.
And Columbia, right? I mean,
Of
they want to
course
build a dam. They want to do this. They want to do that. I mean, already we had a water situation just last week. What up in Tullahoma?
Yeah,
It
it affected Wartrace and Bell
Bell
Buckle. Yeah.
So we're already starting to see, I think, the tip of the iceberg with some of these problems and issues. But again, how I think our government officials can get ahead of this is simple. Get ahead of it. Start talking about it. One of the things in Bedford County, just being in politics here for a while, that I've seen is that we're very reactive. We don't ever really get out in front of some of these major issues. And I think if we were to do that, just have a whiteboard drawn up. Hey, this is something that's on the radar. Let's unpack it and worst case scenario it and best case scenario it, and then plan our work and work our plan.
And this is not a pun, but it seems like in the past that we want to fix the fence after the cows get out.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it's exactly what we do. So I think if people that are really concerned about these two issues, they go hand in hand. then there'll be some discussion taking place.
Well, it really
know?
matters on who you vote for. I don't care who you vote for. Make sure you're asking some of these questions because these are going to be, well, they are impacting us currently. Figure out where those candidates stand on some of these issues. And if they give you that blank stare in the headlights, that's not a good sign.
Well, let's just talk about maybe some solutions. Let's talk about water.
Yeah, let's do it.
We see the problem. We get our stuff from Normandy, okay, Duck River. That's where the reservoir is. It's just right over into Coffee County. Duck River winds its way through Bedford County. Some of the most beautiful scenery that you'll have in Bedford County is along the Duck River, on the Duck River, floating the Duck. If you hadn't floated the Duck River, it's great when it warms
Awesome.
up. I would encourage you to get you a kayak, rent one, do something, go canoeing. Just get on the Duck River just for a day.
It's amazing.
Just in June or July when it's hot, go down through there, the shade, the bluffs, the water, the fish, everything. It's awesome. Okay, we've got that. And then we meander ourselves through Marshall and we get into Maury County and they have a water issue there. We got a water issue to our east and to our west, and we have one developing right here in our backyard.
We're getting
So
pinched on both sides.
as a people, as a population, what should we expect our elected representatives to do? How can they represent us on this topic of protecting Duck River and our water supply? How can they?
And our food supply.
Yeah,
Let's not
of
leave
course,
that out.
yeah,
And our
yeah.
farmers. And I think we both know the answer to this. It's controlling the growth. There's a way to control growth, I think, that's very capitalistic, that's very constitutionally based. But the people in the community.
Now let's talk about growth. There's some things that need to grow fast. You're talking about population
Yeah,
growth.
I am.
You're talking about that number.
High density population growth. You know, this idea that we're going to approve something before we remember that back a few years ago in Congress, they were going to approve the bill before they knew what was in it.
Before we
Kind
read
of that
it.
same kind of thing. We really have to have these environmental impact studies to really get a good idea. If we
Right.
can even do it. Hey, we may all want to do something, right? We may all want to do this thing that creates this, what we may think is positive
Right.
growth. But if it destroys another ecosystem or if it destroys another area of the county,
Right.
it is really, a cost analysis benefit to us, then it's
Yeah.
really taken away from the overall foundation and the economics of our
Right.
county.
Right. So I like what you said earlier. Let's capitalize on what we have.
Let's capitalize on what we have.
Let's leverage it.
Yep. And
let's
I think,
don't abuse it.
and let's don't abuse it. And let's make sure the people that we have in office are making the right decisions when it comes to growth.
They've got to understand the problem. The people
Right.
that represent the people of the county, the commissioners,
Right,
okay,
right.
city council people, everybody involved needs to understand where we at. Let's have an honest discussion about where we are
Mhm.
and the threats that lie ahead.
Right.
And let's start avoiding them now.
And then let's not paint the picture of a conversation like this that says you're anti-growth.
I'm
baby.
not.
You are anti-growth.
You know what I want to see?
What?
What I want to see is everybody's way of life, the quality of their life to increase in
That's
Bedford
right.
County.
That's right.
Does it need to have more in the population to do that? I don't think so. And that's a topic we can, of course, we welcome people that are productive citizens to come to Bedford County and join in on it. But we need to elevate ourselves. We need to start looking in the mirror and being the best we can be. That's how everybody starts to grow together.
Yeah.
And that's a topic for another time.
And doing some impact studies to see if it
Yeah.
makes sense. And that's where the political spectrum can come into play to help out our county.
Well, great conversation.
Yeah, man.
We've had
Yeah.
some people watching, and some
Yeah.
people don't know what this is. We're just having a discussion. This
We're
is
just
called
talking.
Conversations. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back again real soon, and we'll continue this, Brent,
That sounds
because I
good.
know there's some more stuff we want to